What's up, everybody? Welcome to our very first episode of the Sweet Talk podcast. We are so fired up you're here. I'm Nick.
And I'm Bronier.
And we are the duo behind Bronier Luxury Salon and Spa Suites, the hottest, fastest growing salon suite brand in Louisiana.
In this very first episode, we're going all in, where we came from, how we met, and how two people with zero salon experience built something from scratch, literally from our kitchen table into 3 thriving locations. We're talking hustle, late nights, cleaning floors ourselves, and big dreams that turn into real life success.
So crank up the volume, settle in, let's kick this thing off, and welcome to the Sweet Talk podcast.
So we kind of just want to tell y'all about ourselves, our background, where we grew up, and how this all came to be. So I have lived in Ascension Parish my entire life. I ended up going to school in Gonzales. I went to St. Teresa. And then from there, I went to St. Joseph's in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and so I originally from Thibodaux, when I was very young, I moved to Ascension Parish. We ended up meeting in high school. We did go to different high schools. We were from the same area, but I don't think we ever really knew each other.
No, because I went to high school in Baton Rouge, but I lived in Ascension Parish, so I kind of knew of everybody, but I didn't really know them that lived in the area. Yeah. So we didn't know each other until we went to homecoming, different dates, but it was my freshman year, his sophomore year, and we went to EA's homecoming, and we met on the party bus.
Yep.
Didn't really talk or get to know each other. Just danced and stuff on a party bus. And then didn't really talk after that.
Yeah, I don't know how we got connected after homecoming. I mean, we kind of just went our separate ways after the bus ended, and I don't remember what happened from there.
I do remember obviously we didn't talk after that, but now I knew who that was.
Yeah. And we were young. We were 14 and 16. we didn't know what we were doing, so I don't know.
Yeah, we were 14 and 16, and I remember he had posted, the rate me, date me things on Instagram. And he had posted one of me, and I ended up leaving my number in the comments, and I don't think we ever texted or anything, but he did have my number because of that. And then one night, he posted a picture of his brand new red Mustang that he got. And he said, "Who wants to ride?" And I liked it. And long story short, he ended up texting me. So since we've been together since 14 and 16, we've seen each other's professional lives grow and businesses grow and all of that. So I always grew up around a family that had businesses. That was a big part of my life. My dad owned gas stations. I literally grew up inside of those gas stations with him every single day. Yeah. So I learned from a young age, not how to run a business, but I learned a lot about it and how to treat customers and being comfortable serving people. So that has helped me a lot. So I always grew up doing that type of business. And then when I got to college, during college, my dad would always tell us, we were very fortunate, my dad would tell us, school is your job during school. So we never had to worry about a job during school. But outside of that, during the summertime, I wanted a job because I wanted money. So Nick actually, my dad owned 3 gas stations, and Nick actually said one time, he was like, American Market is the perfect spot for a snowball stand. So I ended up opening up a snowball stand there my freshman year of college, and that's a whole story in itself because I worked my tail off in that snowball stand. Long story short, we now have 4 snowball stands together.
Yeah.
It went from a little college summer gig to now 9 years later, 4 snowball stands later.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and we did that together, still do together. We had a snowball event this morning.
Yeah, we both worked it this morning.
We are not above anything. So yeah, I did that every summer. Still do. And then I got my real estate license in college. And because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like,
Yeah.
snowballs wasn't my career. It's only open a few months out of the summer. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, I'll get my real estate license and we'll go from there. So I got my real estate license and I was like, okay, now what? So I ended up talking to Marie Broussard and I asked her if I could intern with her for the summer. If you know real estate in Ascension Parish, you know Marie Broussard.
Right.
She just retired, hard-working, #1 realtor. She is the best of the best. She is a tough lady. She is who I wanted to learn from. So I went and I asked her if I could intern with her. And I said, I don't want any money. I just want to sit and listen. So I worked for free for multiple summers. I mean, she'd give me bonuses every now and then out of the kindness of her heart. Like, I didn't ask for anything. And I learned from there. And then I graduated college, and Nick can tell you a little bit about his business background because that flows into how we got here.
Yeah, I mean, we've both kind of been entrepreneurs since we were young. We always wanted to do something different than what everybody else was doing. First thing I did was DJing. DJ started when I was 16, and that was fun. I did a lot of...
You did a lot.
A lot of private parties, like all my friends' parties. When we got to college, I had my DJ set up in the room, and we would throw parties in the apartment, and that was really fun. I also painted cars. I plasti dipped cars, so that was a phase. I actually thought I wanted to go to school for painting cars.
That was a phase. Lots of phases over here.
I went and interviewed to go to paint school. I think it was in California, maybe, or Texas, and I was going to have to leave you if I went to that. I remember that was part of if I was going to do it. I'm glad I didn't.
I don't remember.
Even though it would be really cool if I knew how to paint a car.
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. But you wouldn't be here. You'd probably be gone. From there, that's when I kind of got into construction. So when I went to college, I went to BRCC, played baseball there, and that's when I started trying to figure out what I wanted to do as a career because I didn't have that. And your dad mentioned construction management.
My dad mentioned real estate to me.
Your dad mentioned real estate to you. And so I was like, sure, screw it. Instead of just going for business, just generic, let's have a plan.
Yep.
So we went for that. And while I was in school, I needed an internship. And I looked on Craigslist to try to find internships because I had no experience. Found this guy. His name was Rusty. And I basically begged him for a job. I worked for free. He didn't want to hire me. He wanted experience. And I sold myself to him on the phone. And the next day he was like, hey, man, show up with a pen and a tape measure. And we'll go from there. So my career after construction, I got into the commercial cleaning business. I had an opportunity to become a partner in it. It was a business that had been around for 20 years, and they were kind of stagnant. They had done maybe a little under $1 million was the best year they had, and I saw an opportunity to grow. I saw an opportunity for us to make good money, and so I took off with it.
Yeah, and at this point, we were both out of college.
Yeah, we were right. I don't even know if you were out of college.
Maybe not, but we're making decisions together at this point.
Yeah.
We have a life together.
Yeah, it's I'm in this, I got the job I wanted. This is the job I went to school for. Am I going to quit this to go clean toilets?
Right. And one thing about Nick is that he sees what it can be.
Yeah.
And, he told me he was going to do this, and I'm supportive. If you tell me you're going to do it, I'm following your lead. I'm not arguing with you.
Right.
I mean, it may be a bit scary. He had to convince me, I'm going to go run this janitorial company. And I was like, okay, here we go. And he was gone a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it made it a lot easier, with your support. And it was tough on you because I was going, man, in the thick of it, 3-4 nights a week, probably minimum, traveling. Some nights I would come back late, get up early.
Gosh.
And like I don't know if you ever really said, hey, you're working too much. Like, so I never felt pressured to not be able to do what I needed to get the job. Like, you always gave me that support of like, do what you need to do. And I think I look back on it and I go, it's probably because you saw that in your dad, that he worked 7 days a week. He did whatever he needed to do.
Yeah, there wasn't an option, but especially when you're growing something, like,
Yeah.
I do remember times when, I mean, I would be by myself. At this point, Nick had a house. We were living together, and I'd be by myself for forever, and it felt like forever. And I remember, thankfully, we had a roommate at the time, Nick's friend, Justin. Well, our friend, Justin. They lived together in college, and he moved into Nick's house before I did. And it was such a blessing in disguise because I had somebody there, and I really don't think if I didn't have Justin, like, it would have been so much harder.
Yeah.
So I do remember being like, oh my goodness, because Nick wasn't just like going sign accounts. Nick was cleaning these toilets, cleaning these accounts. Like, all the accounts in Pensacola, he was there doing. So he had to be there weeks at a time, and it was hard. I mean, eventually he moved to a position where they had people for that, but
Yeah, I mean, towards the end, I can tell you up almost to my last day, I cleaned toilets. Like, it was still always something, but I think it says a lot about you that I was never getting nagged about, like, when are you gonna be home and when are you gonna do this? I need you to do this. Like, it was like, I see you're working hard. It does suck for you. Like, you took a lot of the hit on the back end of me not being home, and I think it helps. I think just for you to be supportive of what I'm doing and trust the process.
And Nick, you would always tell me just another year.
Yeah, you would ask, how much longer? How much longer are you going to be away? It wasn't that you need to be home, but it was like, okay, like, how much longer are we going to grind this hard to get what we want?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. And Nick was doing extremely well.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody knew how hard he was working. And that was when we got a lot of comments on, oh, it must be nice. It must be nice to live like that. It must be nice to live like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting like, this is not nice. Like, I'm not having fun. Like, it may look nice,
Yeah.
but nobody sees Nick up all night working. I'm home alone. It was an absolute grind, and I did nothing but support, but
Yeah, and while I'm doing all this, I'm still DJing. So I'll drive back from Pensacola to go to a DJing gig. And then I also start the fencing company. So I've got all these things, like growing this company.
Well, by the time you started the fencing company,
I had a little more time.
yeah, that's when y'all had built the company to where you had directors and stuff.
Right.
But for those first few years, he was everything.
It was 24/7.
Yeah, but with growth, as a good businessman, things were put into place to where there were people and procedures. So he did grow it to a point where it didn't need him away. Right. And that was such a great time. Although it was still 24/7, the phone was ringing, go on, do this, leaving on Christmas Eve to go here, there, to cover accounts.
Right.
It got to a point where you could, kind of.
Yeah, and I think at some point we had kind of talked about doing something together. Like, we did all of these things together, but we were never in them together.
Yeah, we were never in business together.
Like, we always helped each other out, but we were never in business together. And I think as we looked at our future, we wanted something for ourselves. And we didn't really know what that meant. We didn't know what it was.
No clue.
But we knew, besides this snowballs, that, I mean, we wanted to further our lives into a career together in something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we started talking about Salon Suites.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing real estate in college. I did extremely well, but by the time I got out of college, that's when COVID hit and everything kind of stopped. So at that point, Nick had done extremely well in his cleaning company, and we were looking at doing something together. So, I mean, we would constantly throw this, and, we couldn't really find anything until my family was a part of a development, which is now known as Heritage Crossing. That's where our first salon is at. So my family was a part of that development, and they had a few salon suites come through talking about opening in there. It did not work. Everybody says that, like the biggest salon suites in the world.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
Numbers don't work. Gonzalez demographic does not work for this.
Terrible area.
Yeah.
We can't do it. Money doesn't work. Now we're in the research phase. We still don't know. Like, again, it's a business we know nothing about. I remember the place we went tour was Blue Lion. Blue Lion Salon Studios, I think was the name. And they were like the best locally family-owned salon.
Yes.
Like, we wanted to research something that was what we wanted. And we wanted locally owned people. We didn't want to have to go to a corporation like to try to figure this out. They were all cookie cutters, and Blue Lion was like, no, everything's custom. Every place is different. And we were like, yeah, this is what we want. And so I got on Instagram and I found the owner, which is Heather Suchma. And forgive me if that's not how you pronounce your last name, but I believe it is. And I DM'd her asking for information. Because at this point, all we know is we've got a place.
Somebody give us some info.
Yeah, like all we know is that we've got a piece of property that we need to buy. We're going to build this from the ground up, and we know nothing about the suites. The first salon suites I ever been inside of was when we went to Houston to look at their places. And so I messaged her on Instagram asking for some information, and basically she just told me like, hey, we're not consulting right now. It may be something that we do later, but my husband's an architect if y'all'd like him to draw y'all's building for y'all. And we had an architect that we felt really comfortable with, so in hindsight, I wish we'd have probably used him, but we didn't. And, I'm very happy with our product. But that's to say, like, okay, now we still don't have any information besides, like, we know what a suite looks like.
Yeah, so we then realized, like, no, this is this is for us to figure out.
Yeah.
So, like you said, looked at all the Blue Lions, and we wanted to be just like the Blue Lions.
Yeah.
Run by a husband and wife duo. They're all of the locations are different, which we loved.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of corporations, they build them the exact same. Each location of the Blue Lion had their own personality, and I loved that. And, I wasn't thinking multiple location-wise, but I still...
No, we were just hoping at least one.
Yeah, oh my goodness. But I wasn't thinking that far ahead, but I love that they did that. I love their business model. I love their website.
And we wanted to be the best, so we wanted to mimic the best.
And we thought they were the best.
Yeah, that's who we thought. And
one thing that they did, their website was amazing for us. If you go to their website, which it's no longer there because they have sold, but if you click on each location, a floor plan of each location would pop up. So they had over 10 locations. So we had 10 example floor plans.
Yeah.
And we didn't want any of our buildings to be exactly like theirs. They were all in like strip malls and stuff. So none of that helped because they were all shaped differently. But we could see how the suites were laid out.
Right.
And I mean, if they've done this 10 times, surely they know how to lay a suite out.
Yeah, I would think so.
So we printed all of those blueprints out, every single one, or the floor plans out. And we went from there. I knew I wanted a few things. Like I wanted the main hallway, a big lobby, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we got those ideas. And what did we do? We'd go to the architect next? Or did we buy land next?
Yeah, I think we bought land. So we had the developer was pushing us. Like we had put an LOI, which stands for letter of intent, which basically is just a piece of paper saying I intend to buy this property at this price. And we weren't ready because we didn't have the plans for the place yet. We didn't know how many suites were really going to fit.
And let me preface, this development, very expensive.
Yeah, so we didn't have all of our numbers together. We thought it was going to work, and we had some close numbers, but the developer was like, prices are about to go up. Like, y'all need to buy. And maybe they were just selling us.
Probably
but
just selling us.
Prices did go up. After we bought. And so we just, whatever, I think it was $900,000 for the lot.
That's an expensive whatever.
So we buy the lot. We had to pay.
All of our money.
We used every dollar we had. We bought the lot in cash. And from there, we start figuring out the building. Like, how do we draw the building? I think we might have went on some paper and drew some examples. And then we met with the architect. And we told him, like, I knew
we figured how many suites we needed to make whatever.
Yeah. We knew how many suites we needed to be able to get a certain amount of revenue to pay for these bills. But we kind of had an idea how big suites were. But basically, I took it as a square footage and put a dollar amount to a square footage. And I knew we had to lease this amount of square feet. And it didn't really matter if it was a double, a single, or a triple. I just needed X amount of square feet leased to be able to afford it. And so when I told him that, that's when we kind of made a couple doubles and we made a couple triples.
Yeah, and we also talked to some people that were in suites that we knew.
Yeah.
Like, how many triples do you think we need? How many doubles do you think we need? How many singles? And we figured it was easier to lease singles, so we wanted more singles than anything else. We were scared to do triples, but we did them.
Still scared of triples.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's big, and it's hard to find people to work together and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted something different. Like, nobody had a triple suite. Nobody had a suite this size that you could lease.
They may have, but not as nice of this, to this caliber.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we wanted to stand out. We wanted to make the place one of a kind. We didn't want anything to be like it. And I think a big thing that we were super proud of, that we promoted a lot, was like, we're the first standalone salon suite. Like, we own the building, we're going to own the land. We're not going to be, in a strip mall, which is the traditional salon suite, which is great. But like, we were going to be a standalone building. You were going to have private parking. This building was going to be for you.
Yeah, and I think that was a big sell as well, because we were in Gonzales.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, even some of the salon suite owners, like, everybody was doubting us. Not doubting us per se, but doubting the business. I don't think they were doubting us, but...
Yeah, no, they were doubting the idea.
Yeah, a bunch of people, I mean, the biggest people said, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, the largest salon suite company in the world said
no.
that the demographics of Gonzales doesn't work.
And let me tell you, when they say that, and you're putting every dollar that you have, every dollar that you've worked so hard for, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then we have suite owners that are like, ooh, I don't know if Gonzales is going to work. So we knew that this building had to be like, bam.
Boom. Yeah. Had to be great.
Yeah. And that's what we did. So we went through, we finally finalized the floor plan. We loved it. It had exactly what we wanted. A big middle hallway that I dreamed about. Hallways lined with windows. Big light and airy lobby. Yeah. We finalized the exterior, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah, I think as soon as we got the floor plan is when we started advertising.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I don't even know if we got the construction loan yet. I think it was like, this is the floor plan. We've got to start advertising this ASAP. And we put the big sign up.
Yeah, I mean, we started advertising ASAP because we were, again, so scared. Like, we knew we had to lease suites.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice.
And when everybody's telling you this is not going to work in Gonzales, you're like, oh my goodness, I need all the time in the world to try to lease these suites.
We got to start pre-leasing now.
Yeah, so
What's a pre-lease? I don't know. We're going to write on a piece of paper
saying you're going to lease.
That you're going to lease this suite and sign here and give us your money, please.
Yeah, like, so... And then that goes into the whole thing of we started building during COVID.
Yeah.
And we started hitting all the supply chain delays, and prices were going up on some materials, so we're trying to find different materials.
I forget about that. Yeah.
So we were just scrambling in all kind of areas, and it had nothing to do with us. We were ready, and we were ready.
Yeah.
It was all the time frame, COVID and all the issues.
I think it was going to be 6 months from the time we got the floor plans to the time that we were open. And
it was not 6 months.
But during COVID, the main structure, the building, it was a metal building frame, was 3 months delayed because of COVID. So right away, we got hit with this delay. Like, we get the floor plans. I'm rushing the architect because they're telling us that the building's going to be the biggest delay. And I'm getting so mad at them because I need him to finalize these plans so we can send it, order the building, and then all we can really do from that time is wait. Now, it gave us some time to put the parking lot up, which we didn't need to do beforehand, but we did it just because we had time.
We literally just did it because we wanted people to see, like, this was happening. We needed somebody.
We had people's money.
Well, it looked like we spread this big idea that we're doing this, and they're like, are they doing it? And we wanted people to know that we are doing it. Like, this is not our fault. It's delaying. But our biggest stressor went from leasing suites to, oh my goodness, we have these suites leased, and we have no time frame.
Yeah.
So circling back to that, when we started advertising suites, we started leasing suites. So we had nothing but a big piece of grass. Nothing.
We just had a lot.
We had a lot. And we had an idea, and a great idea. And
we were hooked, so we had to make this
and
work.
we were all in. Like, this was happening. So we started leasing, bringing people into our dining room. I remember sitting at my dining room table, and we signed some leases. We had the floor plans big blown up on our wall, like literally nailed into our wall, still have the holes. And I was printing out pictures on paper, gluing them to a poster board, like a vision board, saying, this is what I'm going to give you. Here's the salon furniture. This is what it's going to look like. And I started leasing suites. I probably leased 80% of that building before we even opened. But before construction even started, maybe 50% leased.
We had suites leased with grass.
And I am so thankful for those women for trusting us and holding on, because I would tell them, like, we would get a time frame. Like, they'd say, hey, because it's their lives, it's their business, they're trying to plan. Yeah. So they'd ask me for a time frame. I didn't have one. And that was a big stressor. So we struggled with that. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have all these people and nothing's happening. But then the frame came in.
Yeah, so now people, like, when the frame came in, people are like, okay, now it's happening. But before that, people are texting like, hey, when y'all going to start? When y'all going to start? I'm like, we've started.
Trust me. Yeah. That was.
So we start the building process. The building comes in. We're leasing suites, the whole nine. It starts getting kind of fun, I guess, a little bit at that time.
Oh, it started getting so fun.
We're, like, drawing the suites out because we still know nothing about suites at this point. Like, we're selling ourselves, and that's about the most we can do, because if you ask me all kind of questions about suites, I'm not going to be able to answer it. So we still don't know, like, how furniture is going to look in these suites. So I think we started, like, we were actually not drawing, we were taping it off with painter's tape.
Yeah.
We would draw out a suite under just the canopy of the building, and then we would tape, like, where the wash bowl was and where the chair would go.
And that was a big deal because we had to figure out where outlets were going. So we needed to know how big things were. And I mean, I'd love to throw an outlet every square inch. But when you're building, you find out real quick how much each outlet cost.
Yeah, just everything.
Everything. So there was a lot that we had to figure out.
I think we went with every contractor and, like, redlined all of their plans to be like, nope, this needs to be like this.
Oh, we were there every day with them.
And luckily we had really good contractors that understood that. Like, and it was the first salon suite that they all have built. So we were all trying to figure this out together. Like, what's the best way to do plumbing? Like, does it go on this wall, or should we go on this wall so we can connect 3 suites together?
Yeah, like, how do we save money here?
Yeah, like, how do we save money by not running a bunch of different drain lines? And that's when we learned a lot about the building process.
Oh, we
Still
learned.
made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and we learned and we've figured those out. Like, this is the easiest way to do it now.
Yeah.
But we were there almost every day with each contractor.
Oh, I
like,
was there every day. There wasn't a day I didn't go.
Yeah. Like, I had to go and meet them because I had to tell them where I wanted the wash bowl. Nothing was ever, like, cut and dry.
Yeah.
We were figuring it out. And we're also, like, I'm a 23-year-old woman. I was. But, like, you're dealing with all these men contractors. And I'm like, no. Like, I don't care what Nick said. Like, this is how it's going to be done. And they're like...
Yeah. They're like, oh,
I remember.
she means business.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting stuff done, and it's a lot being, a woman in business, especially 23 years old.
And we're already paying a note. Like, we're paying the construction loan. Like, I don't even know how we afforded that. I think the deposits we were getting in that we're supposed to hold in escrow, we were paying the construction loan. Because at the time, I mean, you got to pay while they're building.
Yeah.
And then I remember when they put the walls up, like the exterior walls, and they water sealed everything, and they put the yellow coating, and people are driving by and they're like thinking that's the color, and it was a mustard yellow. Some people even texted us like, "Hey, the color looks good."
Yeah, it was yellow for a long time, and everybody was like, "That's the ugliest building I've ever seen." I'm like, "It's not going to be yellow, thank you."
Yeah, it was so bad.
And then from yellow, it turned purple because they put something else on before the stucco. And again, people are like, "What are y'all doing?" I'm like, "Can y'all just chill? I promise you, it's going to be beautiful."
Yeah, just trust me.
I know.
All we could do is say, "Just trust me." They probably got tired of hearing that.
Yeah. But no, it did get fun because, like I said, we were 80% leased before we even opened. So I was showing people, I had all the suite owners coming during every stage of the building process because they waited so long. They were so excited to get in there. And they were coming measure, picking out paint colors. So it did get really fun. And I got really involved with all of them.
Yeah.
And then finally it was the building's done. And it was move-in day. And I was out of town.
Yep.
So we never had a date for the move-in date, obviously, because we never knew when it was going to be done.
Yeah, it was kind of like we got our last final delay of the electric meter, waiting for that to come in. So we knew a roundabout of when we were going to open, but like there wasn't a day to where people could come in. And so you had already had a trip booked.
Yeah, I think I had some bachelorette trip booked, and we finally got the last thing we needed. And if people could move in, we were moving them in.
Yeah.
So I was out of town, which I was so upset about because, I mean, I've been talking to these women for over a year, most of them, about it and how excited I was, and I wasn't going to be there when they moved in.
Yeah.
But
which was a good thing. I mean, not that you weren't there, but for me to build a relationship, because I was in the sales meetings. I'd show people around, but you were the one constantly on the phone with them. You were the one constantly texting them, and I didn't build a relationship. So
well, I was the one dealing with everybody because I dealt with everybody. I was at the forefront of it because all while we're doing this, he still owns his cleaning company.
Yeah.
And he's still working.
Yeah.
Full time. So he was behind the scenes most of the time, although he was heavily involved, obviously.
Yeah.
I was dealing with everybody else because that was just not an option for you.
Right. Yeah. And then, so, I mean, opening day, you weren't there. I got to meet everybody, which was great. I handed everybody their keys. I helped everyone move in, like anybody that needed help moving in. And I built relationships just through that with all of these suite owners that we still have to this day. I mean, probably 90% of them are still with us. And I could pick up the phone right now and call and just chat with any of them. You know, like, we're not robots. And so, yeah, I mean, that was really fun. The first salon was such an experience to try to, learn the building process. What should we do? We made so many mistakes. There were so many delays. But getting to opening day was just like, whew, relief.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And once we were open, the work didn't stop. It's kind of when it started.
Yeah, it did start.
We ran our numbers, and this was going to be now my career. Like, I kind of put real estate on the wayside, and this was going to be all my thing.
Yeah, and at this point, like, there was no plans for me to get out of my janitorial company.
No.
Like, there was no plans to sell that.
There's no need to, because I was handling it.
Right.
So, like, when we ran the numbers and stuff, we didn't put in a cleaning budget. We were the cleaners.
Yeah.
We didn't put in, like, landscaping budget. Like, maintenance, landscaping maintenance. He was going to cut the grass. Like, anything that this building needed or anything that our suite owners needed, you're looking at us.
Yeah, we were doing it, and we still do that.
Yeah.
If we know how to do it, we're probably still going to do it.
Oh, for sure.
Besides cleaning the buildings.
Yeah, besides cleaning the building, that's a whole thing. But yeah, I was there every single day.
Yeah.
Because I cleaned the building. I was either there late at night or early in the morning before they got there. I'd wake up early and I'd clean the building before everybody got there. The toilets, the break room, all the floor. It's a very big building. To save money. I mean, to hire a cleaning company is extremely expensive, and that's just something, if we could do it, we're doing it. So I did that every day, and I'm very glad I don't do it anymore. But I did it for over a year, up until the day that I gave birth with Granger. Yeah. Literally, I was 9 months pregnant, cleaning the toilets. Like, I was doing it all, and he was running around working and then fixing all the problems.
Yeah, just putting out fires, anything everybody needed.
And there really wasn't problems, but if somebody's wash bowl was leaking here, like working out the kinks and stuff, like he was there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were in there every day, and that turned into us creating like the best relationships with everybody. And I think that is still my favorite part about owning.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't realize when we got into it, it was just a business, and we didn't realize the passion that we had for it and the love that we had for it until we went through that building process and met all these suite owners. And at that point is when I believe we kind of got good at it, and it was just natural. Like, we loved these people. We loved hearing everybody's stories, and we don't just want suite owners. Like, we want people that are great suite owners. We want people that want to do good. We want good people, and we want people that we can grow with.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about this business. We've got, now we own 3 locations. We've got 70 total suites. We've got 64 suite owners, and it's our passion to help these people and grow their small businesses. Like, we're small business owners, and we have 64 business owners within our building.
Yeah, it went from us freaking out trying to lease 24 suites.
Yeah.
To now having 70 suites, leasing. We have 64 leased right now.
Yeah.
And we know every single person we know everything they do.
Yeah.
And not to say like we're as involved as they want us to be.
Right. Yeah.
And it is the best part about it.
Yeah. I mean, and we talk a lot about we're more than just a space. Our suite owners are not just a number to us. We know these people. We meet these people, and we generally care if they call us with any issue, even if it's not regarding to a suite. Like, we want to help if we can help.
Oh, absolutely.
And we want these people's businesses to grow. We don't just want their money every week. We want everyone to thrive.
Yeah.
And what they do.
I think that's what made us fall in love with the business model in the first place, is that we knew we wanted something with no employees, but this business model is so amazing because you're still surrounded by business owners.
Yeah, you're surrounded by like-minded people, which is what we want.
Yeah. And that's why it's one of the best spaces to be in as a suite owner.
Yeah. I think for the first time out of all these business ventures we've been on, it's something that we actually love to do.
I don't have a bad thing to say about it.
Like, we love it.
It comes with its ups and downs, but
yeah, there's things, but I mean, the business aspect of having small business people come in, growing their business, and we get to be a part of that.
Or just watching it in general.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, we want people to succeed.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, for the first time, we're doing something that we love to do.
Yeah.
And that's never been the case.
Yeah. And that's how we went from 2 teenagers to opening up our very first salon suite business.
We'll share what expansion really looked like, the growing pains, and how we manage work-life balance as new business owners and new parents. You don't want to miss it.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you soon.